Hello, fifth grade, and welcome to April. This is a video to talk through the different creative writing prompts that I have given you and just add a little bit more detail to each of them so you can decide which one you would like to use. Well, that first prompt, I've told you to think back to an event that we have learned in history. I want you to think back to one that we've learned this year. So it could be something about Charlemagne or Vikings attacking or the East-West Schism, anything that we've learned in history this year. And I want you to tell the story of that event, but from the perspective of someone there. So almost like that assignment we did with someone being there when Jesus called the first disciples. But you get to choose any event in history to use for this. And it could be anyone that was there. It could even be Charlemagne if you wanted. Or it could be someone that worked for him or worked around him. Up to you. Lots of flexibility there. The second prompt I've given you is to think back to all the different books that you have read in your academic career. Could be this year, could be something you read in fourth grade, could be something you read in second grade. It could even be something you read as a first grader at a different school. But it's got to be a book that you read for school. And I want you to think about all those books that you've read and which one is the most important, which one was the most impactful. And I want you to describe to your reader why that person should really read that book if they haven't already. And have a good reason behind it. I know a lot. King Arthur is a good example of a book that's easy to enjoy because there's knights, there's action, there's death, there's heroes. But if your reason for why this is the best book to read is, it was good, it was exciting, that's not a good reason. A lot of you actually, as you talk about King Arthur, I think have found a more important meaning behind the book and what it represents. And that's more so what I'm looking for. So whether it's King Arthur or another book, I want you to describe why the book that stands out to you the most is the most important one to you. And then finally, I want you to describe, or you can choose to do this if you would prefer, a prank that you've been a part of or something that's been done to you. And as you do this, that could be one that's easy to make too short if you're just writing in a couple sentences what happened. So you've got to make sure you're being very descriptive with this one. Add lots of detail. Really use the senses so it feels like I was there as I hear about this prank. And yeah, I'm curious which of these you guys end up writing about. You don't actually need to send this in if you'd like to and you're able to without it being too much of a problem, though. I always love reading your writing, so you're free to turn it in, but it's not something that you have to. However, if you have not yet turned in your rough draft on the Battle of Hastings, that is due today, so make sure that one is turned in if it is not already. Send me an email or something else if you have any questions, and I'll see you during our Zoom session tomorrow.